You are listening to the Radiant Brilliance Show podcast. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you everyone for tuning in again to the reboost of the Radiant Brilliance Show podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Kalima. This evening, I have my guest, Mikial Hasan, on the line to discuss black seed oils and its health benefits. He's also provided me with a very informative ebook with lots of information regarding its history and medicinal purposes. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Mikail. Thank you so much for joining the podcast with me this evening.
Wa alaikum assalam, Sister Kalima. It is my pleasure, I assure you.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. I would just like to get directly into it. What is black seed and what is the history of it? In going through the ebook that you sent me, we'll provide that information at the end of our discussion for others who I'm sure will want to know more so that they can have it. Tell me about the history and one very important person in which this black seed oil was found with.
Black seed is from the Middle East. Its history goes back, it's from Africa and the Middle East, and its history goes back several thousand years. It's mentioned in the Old Testament. It's mentioned in the Torah. It's mentioned in the Torah of the Jews and also in the Injil. In one book, it's mentioned as black cumin, but it's mentioned in both books. Not mentioned in Quran, incidentally, but it is mentioned in the history of the land.
Okay.
Now, it's been a healer and known as a healer for several thousand years. As a matter of fact, the oil and the seed were found in Tutankhamun's tomb. So it does have a very ancient history or tied to the ancient world. And
for the layman who doesn't know the big name of Tutankhamun, what's the more commonly known title, the more commonly known name?
King
there
Tut.
You go.
All right. It was found in Tut's tomb. And it's also been reported that Cleopatra used it. It was part of her beauty regimen because of its properties in dealing with skin situations. It's a very good skin balm, and it can be used to treat skin irritations, but it also promotes good, healthy skin. So it's a balancer, as a matter of fact. Black seed oil has, to update you and to bring you into the 20th century about it, it's been used and tested extensively in the East and in India, but not so much in the United States. We find when we turn to the studies that they've done, that they have tested this oil against many maladies of the human being, and they found this oil to be beneficial in treating things like cancers, brain cancer, cervical cancer, lung cancer. It's been shown and proven to be effective against that. It's effective against diabetes, high blood pressure, melancholy. What it actually does is that it strengthens the immune system and balances out the body. It makes the body sort of balance itself. If it's insufficient in doing something, it alerts the body to start doing it. And if the body is not able to, let's say, identify a certain organism in the body, like a cancer, it will cause the cancer in the body to identify itself. After it has cloaked itself in escape detection, it will cause the cancer to uncloak itself and allow the body to deal with it in a natural way. So it's an immune system booster. They've used it in treatment against AIDS and many diseases of the immune system. As a matter of fact, you can Google 101 uses for black seed oil, and you would be amazed at what you get back, what it's used for, and what it's able to treat. So we picked up the oil to continue. We picked up the oil because of our health needs, because of a personal health challenge. However, in dealing with the oil and trying to find the best oil for myself and my loved ones, I came to see that it caused a conversation about health, and that Allah was really making this conversation jump around quite a bit. So it looked like it could be used as a propagation tool also. This is something that Allah was making clear to me. If we would just start to use it. Plus, our community, our particular community, the African American community here in America, we've suffered quite a bit of intentional poisoning, actually. We really have. And as an antidote to that, black seed is very, very effective to counter the influences of the various poisons that we've gotten into us. It will eliminate heavy metal poisoning. Now, that would work in a situation like Flint, Michigan. As a matter of fact, all of the residents of Flint, Michigan should be taking black seed oil now to counteract the effects of the bad water that they have and what it does to the body.
Is there a more potent form in which to ingest the black seed oil? I see they have it in doses of oil itself and also in capsules.
Well, you can prepare black seed in several different ways. You can actually take the seed itself. You can actually chew the seed or grind it up and use it in food. You can powder the seed and use it in capsules, or you can press the oil. As far as health is concerned, I tend to favor the pressing of the oil, and because the oil has a concentration of the seed, and because it is readily soluble, readily absorbable for the body. So it's like a quicker, more potent way to take it. However, you can also take the seed. You can also take the seeds, and the seeds will provide you with a little bit of fiber, which will add a little benefit to it. But my preferred method is the oil.
And for people that are just tuning in again, this is Kimberly Kalina Songstress with the Radiant Brilliance Show podcast. And I've got my guest, Mr. Mikial Hasan, speaking to me regarding the benefits of black seed oil. Now, at the beginning, you kind of went over some of the conditions that it could assist with. And I've got the ebook information in front of me. And I would like to maybe just rattle off a few of those for anyone who is just now listening in. I'll just read about maybe 10 of them. It can assist with diabetes type 1, cancer. For low heart attack risk patients, it can assist respiratory ailments, weight loss, the healing of scars, asthma, epilepsy, a big one, opium addiction, toxicity of the body. Is also antibacterial, antioxidant, antiviral. When I see the opium addiction, which has gotten a lot of media play lately, can you tell me one of the ways also that taking that could assist with the opium addiction?
Opium addiction produces several different kinds of effects. One is that it produces in the mind the addiction. It interferes with the feeling of addiction. This is one thing that it does. And as a matter of fact, it will help to control the physical aspect of withdrawal. But even more importantly, the addiction was triggered by a disquietness in the body and in the mind. Usually, if you treat the disquietness, if you treat the things that are causing the thoughts that cause addiction, you can treat the addiction. And you'll see when you see what black seed oil does, is that it will also work on disquietness of the mind. In other words, it will help you with depression, help you with anxiety, help you with PTSD, things like that, because it's a calmative. So when it comes to addiction, it will calm the person, ease the pain, and work on the cause.
As we've gotten older or we dealt with older people, I see another thing here mentioned, dementia or Parkinson's disease that has been affecting a lot of older adults. I see that it can also be something that could assist in that as well.
Yes, it is. I don't have the information right at hand, the clinical information. However, if you look at our ebook or you research online, especially at draxe.com, they'll give you a rundown about the actions that black seed oil triggers, what it is that will cause the healing. And in the case of dementia, it stops memory loss. Again, what we're talking about is something that enters the body and kind of asks the whole body, is there anything wrong? Or it goes through the body, identifying what's wrong, what's not acting properly. And it encourages whatever is not acting properly to act properly. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like the body has its own immune system. It has its own. But because of what we eat and what we do, we compromise our immune system. So what black seed oil does is it activates that system again. It just goes through the body and it starts telling the body, wake up and fight this. Or wake up, this is in your area, you need to eliminate it. You understand? It's kind of like a sentinel, so to speak.
Wow, that's a great example, sentinel. And in African American culture, for centuries, our healing properties, the healing items that we used were from the earth. They were natural. That's been passed down for generations, all the way down to present day grandmothers to still grow things in the garden. And there's been a recent uptick in people going back to what is natural. There's a lot of synthesized drugs out there having all type of side effects, but it's good to know that there are some still natural options out there, and people like yourself who are there to educate them. Now, the benefits of the black seed oil, as you described, the immune system booster, which is perfect, and it acts as a sentinel to alert your body to wake back up and let's take action on the best way to heal the situation. I am reading the ebook, and of all the items listed that it can assist, you're right, there's a specific breakdown as to every single property that it offers those elements. So this is an excellent ebook people should read and discuss and share. With this being what it sounds like a super immune booster, how easy is it for people to get? Because people may want to get their hands on this. Is this something that's very, very expensive?
Well, it's not hard to get it. It's coming to America now. It hasn't been in America. It's been in other countries, but it hasn't been in America. So it's relatively unknown, but it is coming. What we want to do is we want to channel the enthusiasm that people will be having for black seed into recognizing the grades of it. There are the grade that we happen to offer at Bilal Black Seed Oil is a very high grade of black seed oil. There's a chemical called thymoquinone that's in black seed oil. This is what they call THQ or sometimes TM. That is the strength, so to speak, of the oil. And because it is the strength, the oil can be diluted and still have healing properties. However, it will not have the high amount of healing properties that naturally occur in it if it's diluted or pressed the wrong way. So we've obtained an oil that is cold pressed, as the oil should be. It's pressed from organic sources. It's completely halal. It's been certified as halal and kosher also. So it's a very fine oil, and it has been analyzed, and this is a very important piece of information for your listeners to get, is that the THQ content varies in these oils. When they see a black seed oil, it will vary. The highest commercial content available in America is 48 milligrams of THQ per 4 ounces. This is the analyzation that we offer in our oil. It does meet that standard. It is 48 milligrams of THQ. That translates to 4% of the oil being actually the THQ. And as you read the ebook, you'll see that these three particular proto-chemicals that are contained in black seed oil, the exact chemicals that fight almost every bacterial infection known.
I want to thank you also for breaking down the strengths and the things that matter, because you're right. When olive oil as a cooking agent became very, very popular, it came out in its strongest strengths. And then by supply and demand, they had a lot of watered down stuff. And what it sounds like you're saying to me with Bilal Black Seed Oil Company, you've spoken to the people you need to speak to make sure that the strengths are correct, the dilutions are correct, and this is not some overnight snake oil. You're trying to really deliver what will be the best and the truest to what the original composition is.
Exactly. And as a matter of fact, when we market our product out in the community, we're finding, because, there are people in our community that have taken this oil already. But we're finding when they take our oil, when they sample our oil, and we have testimonies to this, that the oil tastes different and feels different. And the effect is more immediate than the oils that they've been taking. And we explain to the people that it's quite possible that your oil has been diluted. As a matter of fact, there's a very popular, I won't mention the name, but there's a very popular black seed oil on the market. If you research the oil, it will tell you that it contains 0.9% THQ, which means that it has less than 1% of the medicine. We have more than 4%. You see? So there is a great disparity between the 1 and the 4 when it comes to healing.
Okay, Brother Mikail, I want to thank you so very much for the breakdown of what you did as far as the properties of the black seed oil and making sure that you demand that you're getting the best dilution for the best health benefits. And again, the ebook that I've been following along with, I know you have that available. How can people get in touch with you to find out more information about the black seed oil and about the Bilal Oil Company, or if they need to help educate groups of people? Could you give us that information?
Thank you for asking. We have a Facebook page for the Bilal Oil Company, BILAL Oil Company. We also have a page for black seed oil, Bilal Black Seed Oil, I believe. And if you Google Bilal Black Seed Oil, or even if you Google Black Seed Oil, Bilal should come up. We sell the oil on Shopify. We sell on Etsy. One thing that I would like to mention is that we're looking for distributors and distributorships, and people that want to have distributors. We need to push this oil in our community. Promotion of the oil should be face to face. Muslims should see and be able to talk to the people that handle this oil. So we want to put this oil in our community in such a way that it not only helps us, but it helps the economics of our community, it helps the health of our community, and it helps to engage others in the conversation that we're having about this oil right now. And it's very important. It's very important for them to get that. So we have the site that's up for them to get some of this information, but we want them to, when they go to the site, we want the Muslim community to think about using this, because we're going to use this oil from now on. We're going to use it. We're not going to stop using this oil, and the people that start using it are not going to stop using it. So it becomes a revenue generator for our community. The people that handle the oil are going to make money for themselves, and our community is going to make money. And if we bring the sale of the oil, if we take the sale of the oil to the masjids and allow the masjids to also engage in the sale of the oil, it will be a revenue generating income for the masjids. And I would also like to mention one other thing. Halal certification is a multi-trillion-dollar business, not multi-billion. It is a multi-trillion-dollar business. And we as a community in America, the American Muslims, especially those who have come up in our community, we have the opportunity now to bear the standard of halal certification. We are the people that that certification should be used. We should be the authorities on it. We should authorize that certification. because we have the numbers to monitor it, and because we have the need for the revenue from it. Now, all product, we have an association, and this is, I would like for the people to also go to bhaamerica.org. It is the homepage of the Bilalian Halal Association. By us getting involved in halal certification, we are ensuring our community the benefit of residual income. That's the residual income that's generated from the repeated certification. So in a way, this oil is a forerunner of establishing ourselves independently as an independent national organization. Also, it's called Bilal Oil, and it is something that is representing our community. This is like a new bean pie for us. It's not only going to represent us, but it's also going to engage other people to talk to us about other things. We can propagate this faith through this oil. It's a win-win, win-win, win-win.
That is a great business plan. That really is. And I'm hearing it's bringing the centralization of it all being brought back down to benefit really the community.
The community, exactly.
The community. Yes, sir.
This is very, very important because not only our community is sick, and there's no doubt about that. We need the help. So we need people who are dedicated to improving the health in our community, to get behind this oil and bring this oil into our community so that we can propagate and promote better health. That's the first thing. By doing so, we the people that will be bringing you the oil will be independent distributors, and they'll be in business for themselves. Now, it just so happens that many of the people that are involved with us now are philanthropic, so they will provide you with the oil if you didn't provide them with any money. But it is something that they earn a living with, that they can earn a living with. So it's a tool. A brother could get out of incarceration and go get this oil and sell it in the community and make money for himself right away. So it's very beneficial to us, and it's an industry that we have brought to our community that we can completely involve ourselves in and use it to sustain our community.
Inshallah. Well, Brother Mikail, I'd like to thank you again for being a guest on the Radiant Brilliance Show podcast. I will make sure to include the links and numbers for people to reach out to you and the Bilal Oil Company in case this is something either they're interested in participating or just basically sharing this good information, this good health information. I will also add, for anyone who's interested in taking the black seed oil or has questions about it, if you're on some specific medical regimen, make sure you speak to your doctor just to be on the safe side, because although it's natural, a lot of the natural herbs and things that they have, they really are effective, and you don't want it to counter something that you may currently be taking until you're off of it or check for any type of allergies.
And sister, I really want to thank you because you've done a great job with this show, and the information that you provide on this show is a service to our community. What you're doing should be propagated by all of us. So I'm encouraging everyone that listens to this podcast to become a regular listener and a regular supporter of your efforts. And I really want to thank you for reaching out to us and the service that you've done for our community and black seed oil today. Without saying anything else, may Allah protect you and keep you safe, reward you with the good reward and the benefit, and give you the benefit of the good that you sow in this life. Inshallah.
Thank you so very much.
So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for rejoining the Radiant Brilliance Show podcast. The episodes can be found at www.theradiantbrillianceshow.com website. I'm also on Facebook under The Radiant Brilliance Show and Instagram under TRBS Podcast, also on Twitter. So thank you so much for tuning in. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.